Everything is within your power, and your power is within you. Janice Trachtman. Charlie, a stay-at-home dad, works out of his living room while looking after his 3-year-old toddler. As a social media consultant, he depends on his laptop to make a living. The problem is that his beat-up computer was as old as his kid, and it was always glitching on him. So Charlie kept focusing on getting a new computer, a 13-inch MacBook Pro in particular. Eventually, his old laptop gave out, which made him panic a bit. So Charlie went online to look for another one while having the shiny new MacBook in the back of his mind. After hours of searching, he couldn't find a reasonably priced model. So he was about to settle on another type of laptop and was close to closing the sale. But at the last minute, Charlie decided to check the price listings for a used version of the computer that he really wanted. And just like that, someone was selling a 6-month-old MacBook Pro for a price significantly cheaper than a store-bought one. So Charlie got what he wanted, and at a better deal than he had hoped for. Now, Charlie's incredible stroke of luck seemed like a fluke to him at first, but then another awesome thing happened shortly after. You see, Charlie was also looking for a new job because he felt stuck in his current one. So he had his sights set on another company with a position in mind. The truth was that he wasn't all that confident he was even qualified for the position, but he went over the job description again and again. Charlie even printed the job ad and put it on his refrigerator door so he could see it every day. A couple of weeks after his interview, he got a call from the company and said he got the job. On Charlie's first day, his new boss told him, "Honestly, your skill set isn't an exact match for what we were looking for. But I really liked how you did at the interview, and besides, we can train you for the other things you need to learn, anyway. You have a great attitude and that's more important than being 100% qualified for the job." Is it coincidence, or something else at work? It's easy to brush off Charlie's streak as plain dumb luck, but could he have willed his good fortune to happen? After all, the common element between getting his new laptop and the new job was that he focused on both things intensely. Charlie kept it in his thoughts all the time. More than that, he created a detailed picture of his desired state in his mind. He imagined what it would be like to hold his new laptop and how he'd feel working in the new job he was aiming for. Charlie visualized both scenarios so vividly that he could almost taste it. Whether he knew it or not, he was putting the basic principle of the law of attraction to work, and it served him well. As the name implies, this law decrees that like attracts like. There's a global movement behind this belief, and it says that the kind of thoughts you send out to the universe emit a certain frequency, be it helpful or harmful. And you have the power to control the wavelength you operate on, which in turn attracts circumstances that match your energy. So by focusing on positive outcomes and giving out positive vibrations, you can turn your thoughts into a tangible force of good in your life. On the other side of the coin, dwelling on the negative aspects of life and focusing your attention on the things you resent attracts even more negativity into your world. Like Charlie, you can think of something specific you want, and hold that image in your mind. Create all the details that bring the picture to life, then believe that you already have it. When you go about your day thinking that the object of your desire is already a matter of fact, this sends out a clear, strong message to the universe that you truly want and believe it. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are other ways to raise your frequency even higher. By following these 7 tips to create the life you've always dreamed of, you'll naturally attract everything you've ever wanted, and more. Number 1, set aside time to focus on what you desire. The first habit is simple enough: give yourself at least 5 to 7 minutes daily to visualize the things you want to turn into reality. You can do this by finding a quiet place to contemplate, then sit upright with your eyes closed. While keeping your desires front and center in your thoughts, breathe deeply in and out. Focus on your breath and the sensations your body is feeling, and use that as anchor to keep your thoughts from straying. If your mind does go on a tangent, gently bring yourself back to your breathing and your desired future state. You'll get a lot of benefits from doing this for just a few minutes every day. For instance, many studies have proven the stress-reducing properties of meditation. A study at the Massachusetts General Hospital showed that people who tried their meditation program experienced significantly less health problems than before. They ended up not having to see a doctor or go to the emergency room, saving them about $2,300 in medical costs for each person. On top of that, of course, meditation also helps you keep your eye on the prize and give you the determination to make it happen. Some people, however, have trouble meditating and get easily distracted. If you need a little guidance with this habit, I've got a special gift for you, but more on that later. Number 2, be grateful and practice gratitude. Ever hear the expression, "Thank your lucky stars"? Back in ancient times, people believed that celestial bodies played a huge role in someone's destiny. Today, many still believe that these same external forces affect our lives. The law of attraction draws from this belief, and it states that we should be grateful whenever the universe sends something good our way. This is another way of fine-tuning your frequency. When you actively pay attention to the positive things that happen around you, it acts like a magnet that attracts similar things. And by being thankful for your blessings, you're sending a powerful message to the universe that essentially translates to, "Thank you, that was awesome. More please." Number 3, take a leap of faith. The main challenge that people have with manifesting their desires is dealing with the world of the intangible. It can be daunting, and even discouraging, to imagine a future outcome that hasn't happened yet. It takes some faith to push past that hazy uncertainty, and not everyone has it in them to do so. So you need to check your inner doubting Thomas at the door for a moment and appreciate how other people have used the law of attraction to succeed. Consider the great figures from the past: Albert Einstein, Nelson Mandela, Marie Curie, Vincent van Gogh, and Nikola Tesla. All of them were shining examples of how they used their mind and willpower to create something valuable in this world. They raised their own frequency and as a result, had a different energy from the rest of humanity. Even though they're gone, their legacy lives on, and we can still feel its impact today. It's all because they took a brave step into the unknown. Even though they couldn't see how their work would ripple through the next several decades, they still powered through. The skepticism that people have is the result of growing up. As you get older and have more experiences, a certain amount of jadedness sets in. That's why you won't find any of that in kids. Just think about how children play make-believe. When they yell, "The floor is lava," you can bet they'll be scrambling for the nearest couch or chair to avoid getting burned. On a certain level, they truly believe that the floor is literally molten rock. They can see the hot, glowing lava, burning everything its path. And they do everything to stay out of its way. That's the power of the mind and imagination in action. Learn how to see the world on this level again. That way, you can see a bright future before it happens, then go on to make it a reality. Number 4, keep on keeping on. One of the realities of this world is that you can't eliminate adversity. It's always going to be an uphill climb at some point, especially when you've just taken on a new challenge. You've been eating right and working out, but the pounds aren't quite flying off as you'd hoped. You started a side income project, but your cash flow hasn't been anything more than a trickle. You've tried beating your depression with exercise, therapy and medication, but the dark thoughts still charge at you like a freight train. That's called resistance. It will always be there, even as you dig deep and do everything in your power to manifest the reality you want. Being a grown-up means expecting those external circumstances to work against you. Your best response? Push back. Keep your inner world together, and the outside world will follow suit. Dumbledore once told Harry Potter, "Help will always be given at Hogwarts to those who ask for it." Remember, the hero of the story is never a one-person army. Harry had Hermione and Ron. Luke had Obi-Wan and Yoda. And you don't have to fly solo in your journey. Think about the people in your inner circle. Are they giving you the energy, motivation and inspiration to succeed? If the company you keep sneers at growth and being better, maybe it's time to look for other friends to round out your squad. Seek people who lead by example and can show you how to overcome that resistance in your life. Learn from them and let their enthusiasm rub off you. While you're at it, use technology to connect to like-minded folks who can help you in your quest. Open your phone or laptop and fire up YouTube, Vimeo or any other video streaming site. TED Talks, self-help lectures and tons of other empowering content are literally at your fingertips. The universe has too much abundance for you to ignore. We're part of a vast human network, and our collective energy affects everyone else in ways we can't yet fully comprehend. This network has always been around, the internet merely accelerated it. Tap into it and unleash its power. Number 5, tune out your negative Ned or Nancy. There's always that voice in the back of your head that kicks in when life gets tough. It loves whispering things in your ear, usually at the height of your frustration and despair. You totally blew that one, why do you even bother trying? You had one job and you screwed it up like always. I'm not even surprised. Getting back on the horse, are we? I give it a week before you go back to your old ways. Better to quit while you're ahead. You actually thought he was complimenting you? Oh, bless your heart, it's called small talk and being nice. If you're like the rest of the human species, you're going to run into those nasty folks called insecurity, self-doubt and fear. They're going to take up space in your head and try to drown you out with their noise. Rumi, a 13th century Persian poet and scholar, knew this well. In his poem, The Guest House, he spoke an ancient truth about the human condition. He likened all our thoughts and feelings, both good and bad, as visitors who stopped by the guest house of the soul. And this line struck me the most. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Once I understood what it meant, I realized that I didn't have to resist it. I could simply let my obnoxious guests do their thing, and see them out. It's not about covering your ears and going, la 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 la. I can't hear you. Acknowledging their existence in your head is not the same as letting them win. The world's greatest achievers go through bouts of darkness and anger like everyone else. The main difference is that they use their failures as material for an instruction manual called What Not to Do and How to Do It Better the Next Time Around. Number 6, ditch your story. You shouldn't stop at managing your negative thoughts, however. You need to peel back another layer and go deeper. Here's the thing, you grew up on a set of beliefs, whether you're aware of it or not. Your parents, teachers, friends and pretty much everyone you knew growing up contributed to your programming. You don't know it, but you operate on this programming on a daily basis. And it influences every decision you make, and how you choose to see the world. Now this can be a good thing if you grew up around people who were positive, motivated and had a good outlook on life. But this is the real world we're talking about, so not everyone had that kind of effect on you. Somewhere along your journey, someone discouraged you in a subtle way, or put some sort of label that you can't shake off. Words like underachiever, oddball, loser, nerd, small fry, ugly duckling, and black sheep come to mind. And each one is damaging in its own toxic way. Sadly, most people carry this invisible weight their whole life. But starting today, you can lay those bricks on the ground and walk away for good. You don't have to carry that weight for anyone, especially not for them. Stop living your story based on the false narrative that your negative programming created. All those preconceived beliefs need to go if you want to attract happiness and prosperity in your life. I've seen people achieve incredible things, even the impossible, just by doing this one thing. Lionel, a heroin addict from Michigan, was in and out of jail for the longest time. But after overdosing within an inch of his life, he decided to ditch his old story. Even after everyone gave up on Lionel and called him a screw-up, he turned it all around. He let go of the labels that people had been putting on him for years. And Lionel decided he didn't have to be any of those things anymore. Lionel created a new story for himself, one where he was finally free of his crippling addiction and lived a clean, sober life. What kind of story do you want to live out? Number 7, make your affirmations pop. You might have heard of people making declarations about themselves to manifest them as truth, and not just as an opinion. When you affirm some truth about yourself, it validates the awesomeness within you. Words of kindness heal the soul and help forgive past failures. In short, it's about loving yourself. After all, you can't give what you don't have. However, saying, "Boy, I sure love myself," doesn't quite do the trick. To make your affirmations stick in your subconscious, it needs to have a little something extra. Don't stop at, "I love me." Take it up another notch to really drive the point home. Try these on for size. I love myself so much that I want to use my gifts and share them with the world. I want to take this love inside me and use it to lift other people up. By sharing the love I have, I possess the power to change myself for the better, and the world around me. I am love, light, peace and prosperity. Anger, hate and scarcity have no power over me. Aside from loving yourself, you can also infuse a dash of humor in your affirmations. Who says you have to be so grim with his law of attraction stuff, anyway? When you add a bit of levity while you affirm yourself, it shushes your negative Ned or Nancy into silence. Try coming up with statements like these. I'm so awesome that I kick mediocrity in its big fat butt. I've come here to be awesome at everything I do and kick major butt. And I'm all out of butts to kick. Did you say something, self-doubt? Sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of my awesomeness. It's all a matter of finding the right attitude and tone that suits you. Take a crack at making these affirmations, and you'll soon find your true inner voice. What matters is that you inject your affirmations with a serious amount of attitude, and above all, energy. Without that energy, you won't give your messages enough juice to reach the universe and show up on its radar. Those who practice the law of attraction often combine these affirmations with their meditation sessions to hit two birds with one stone. And the results are nothing short of phenomenal. Now, about that gift I promised you earlier. To make the most out of your meditation, I've got a series of audio tracks to help you manifest incredible benefits in your life. If you want to be the picture of health, naturally create wealth wherever you go, and enjoy authentic, fulfilling relationships,